Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my 37-week pregnancy update video, and I'm going to try and keep it a little bit shorter this time. Last time I missed a week, so that's why it was a little bit longer. But this time I'm going to try and not talk so much. To begin, I had a rough week, to say the least. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know the fiasco I had with Alex when I took him for his vaccinations. He had a reaction to his 18-month shots. And let me just tell you, it was one of the scariest things, besides his birth. It was the scariest thing that has ever happened. Just absolute horrible feeling. Because his eyes started to swell up, his lips turned blue, and he was shivering. So I was freaking out. I was with my husband at the time, but we did take him to the hospital. It wasn't an allergic reaction. I guess it was just his way of reacting to the shot. He did get a fever, and he was just not himself. But he is better now, so thank you all for your concern. But yeah, you can imagine the stress I was under that day, just with everything that was going on. I swear it was going to send me into labor just because of how stressed out I was about it. But he is well now. I've never heard of any other child reacting the way he did, so I'm not sure what it was about it. He's had this shot before in the past, so it's just kind of a booster shot, so I have no idea why this time it happened the way it did. I think that situation alone progressed my pregnancy just because of the amount of stress. So I've been having a lot of menstrual cramps. Menstrual-like cramps, because obviously I'm not getting my period, but that is Braxton Hicks, and it's similar to your labor pains when you're actually going through contractions. Braxton Hicks, I find, are just more in the front, and your front gets tighter, and then when you actually have real labor pains, it's more in the back, and it kind of radiates around. So I know the difference because I've been through it before. Every time I stand up, I get a Braxton Hick in my stomach. And just walking around in general, I have a ton of pressure in my pelvis. Some women describe it as carrying a bowling ball in their pelvis, and that's pretty much how it is. It's just really, really uncomfortable. I've had to take my rings off because my fingers were swelling up. They were quite fat the other day, so I took them off because I didn't want to chance it. I'm pretty sure I took my rings off around the same time last time. At my last OB appointment, I was 1 pound away from when I delivered Alex, so I'm quite a bit bigger this time, but I also started off a little bit heavier, so I actually haven't gained as much as I did with Alex so far, but we'll see come time to deliver. But I am 1 pound away from the heaviest I've ever been in my life. One night I had really bad pains in my back. Every time I'd breathe, I couldn't breathe in fully without my back radiating pain. I've been very emotional, but I think it's just because of that situation that happened earlier in the week. It's just my nerves and everything are shot. I felt nauseous for a good 2 days after and during that experience. I just felt sick to my stomach because of all the stress that I was going through. It was just a really hard week. And then today, I don't know how detailed I should get, but there's this thing called a mucus plug, which basically comes out when your cervix is dilated or is dilating. You can lose it. I haven't lost mine yet, but pretty sure partly it is going. And yeah, I just feel like things are going to be happening a lot sooner than I expected. In my mind, everything I have planned to make it to the end, but I honestly don't think I'm going to make it that far, and I really don't want to deliver this week because both my father and Charles' father are on a motorcycle trip together. So they went out east and they don't get back till next Monday. So I gotta wait at least a week to have this baby so that they can be there. But in my mind today, I just felt like I was going to have it this week. Because it would be the most inconvenient, that's probably when it would happen, right? At my OB appointment, I am measuring 2 weeks ahead. Even if you're measuring ahead, not necessarily going to have a huge baby. I was measuring ahead with Alex at certain points. I think this baby is going to be bigger. Just in my mind, and how much I can feel in my stomach, I just feel this baby is going to be bigger than Alex. And then the heart rate was 140, which is about average for the heart rate that it has been so far. A couple of things that I wrote down will actually answer some of your guys' questions, so I'm going to hop onto your questions right now. Just know that my week was kind of bad. Okay, first question. Will your mother or any of your relatives come to help after you deliver your baby and be at home, and for how long? I also had another question that asked if I had help with Alex, so I'm just going to answer both of them at the same time. So with Alex, I didn't have a relative come to help me out. I did have my mom, mother-in-law, everyone offered to help if I needed help, obviously. But I never took them up on the offer. I wanted to do it myself. And I knew Charles was going to be on vacation after, I believe it was 10 days. So I had to do it alone for 10 days, which was the hardest adjustment period for me. But then he was on, I believe it was 3 weeks vacation at the time. So just getting through those 10 days, then having him on vacation was a huge help for me. And then I was with Alex, obviously, the duration of the time, just me and him. I didn't find it too hard to adjust. The first week obviously was for me because I was on my own. But I really feel as though your partner, whoever, a relative, can't help you too much in the sense for the baby if you're breastfeeding, because basically that's all I was doing, and Alex took forever to feed. So it was like I was an hour on, hour off, it seemed. So I basically was just constantly breastfeeding. And I guess your relatives could help you out around the house with cooking and things like that, but I tried to best prepare my house and meals and things prior to baby coming. Leading up to delivery, I like to make freezer meals. So say I'm making lasagna one night for dinner, I'll just make double the lasagna and then I'll freeze a portion and put it away. So then I'd have that meal ready to go for when baby comes. So I have pre-prepared meals. I do that with a lot of meals. Anything that freezes really well, like chili or anything like that, I just make sure I make extra, and then I will freeze a portion or a batch, and then I know I have meals for how many days. I have also pre-prepared, I don't know why that's so hard to say, I have also pre-prepared freezer bags full of smoothies and things, so green smoothies and just fruit, oatmeal smoothies, things like that. Fruit and oatmeal is really good for milk production if you plan on breastfeeding, so I like to have those for breakfast. Just put the main bulk of the components in a freezer bag, put it in there so you have a serving, and then all you have to do is add your liquid come time you want to use it. So I use almond milk. Just throw it in the blender, and there's a snack or breakfast or whatever. Alex really likes them too, especially when he's teething right now. I make him green smoothies, and he really likes them. It's just easier on his teeth, so it just works out really well if I need something super quick and healthy. So I do that too, but that was a long tangent about if I have help. I try and do the best I can on my own. And actually this time Charles has decided to take off part of my parental. In Canada, mothers get 15 weeks maternity, I believe, and then combined for parental, so either the mother or the father can take 35 weeks. So I get a total of 50 weeks. You basically get a year, but 2 weeks is you have to serve a waiting period, which I will be doing, so I don't get paid during that time. And then Charles decided to take 12 weeks of that 35. So we have to split that 35. So that takes away from my paid leave, but I'll still be taking the year. After that point, I'll decide whether I go back to work, but he will be getting 12 weeks paid parental leave, and he's taking that right at the beginning. So as soon as a new baby is born, then he will be home for 3 months, which is amazing. And next week, he actually has to go back to work. He was on 1 week vacation right now. And then after next week, he will be off for the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy. So basically 1 more week, 5 more days, and I'm gonna have him home the whole time with me. So he'll be here for 14 weeks, which is crazy. So lucky to have him this time. I don't know how I would do with 2 right off the bat. Obviously I would manage, but it's gonna be really nice to have the extra hands and just develop some kind of routine and just get everything back together. And I know a lot of people were asking about when I would be back to YouTube. Last time I took almost a month. I'm assuming the same thing will probably happen, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. It depends on how things go. I know in the beginning it was really easy because baby slept a lot, so I was able to get back to filming pretty fast, but it depends on how my recovery goes as well. And last time it was pretty bad. Would you consider doing a morning routine? I want to film one. It's just time dependent. If I can get one in the next couple weeks of my pregnancy, then absolutely I want to do one. It's on my list of things to do because I want to get Charles to help me film that. So I was planning on doing it not this week but the week after. Granted that I don't deliver before then, which I feel like is going to happen. Are you planning on filming a nursery tour for the new baby? our nursery hasn't really changed. If we happen to have a girl, then I'll definitely do a tour because I'm going to change more of the stuff. A lot of the things in the room, like all of Alex's possessions, will be out, but the furniture, the walls, everything is staying the same. So I didn't feel it was really necessary to do one unless it is a girl, and then I'm going to completely redo it. Well, not completely, but I'm going to add obviously some girly touches to it. So I'll do one if it happens to be a girl, so we'll see. Will you make a labor and delivery video vlog? So I was thinking about that. I wasn't going to vlog delivery, but if I go into labor and I happen to decide to vlog portions of that, I may do it, but I'll definitely be filming my labor and delivery story after the fact. So as soon as I get back to filming YouTube, or I feel comfortable introducing new baby to YouTube, then I will film my labor and delivery story, let you guys know everything that went on. And I did that last time with Alex. It was super popular, so I plan on doing it again. And that is everything for this week's questions. Thank you to everyone who asked me a question. I hope I answered them the best of my ability. If you have any more questions for next week, and I'm here next week, then leave them down below and I will answer them. And now I will show you guys my belly. So here is belly. I'm protruding a lot. I swear I'm just getting bigger and bigger by the second. But it's definitely going out a lot more now. I feel as though I'm a lot lower, even though this is quite a bit higher than I was with Alex. So my belly is definitely different this time around. But there it is for 37 weeks. And I'm measuring 2 weeks ahead, apparently. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, leave your comments down below for next time. And I will see you in a week. We'll see you.